video, I'm going to show you how to use a chain to make some very simple crocheted bracelets. So you're going to start by making a chain that is long enough to go around your hand and wrist. And if you're making it for somebody else, obviously, you'd want to make sure you're making it the right size for them. Now that my chain is long enough to go around my hand and wrist, I'm going to connect the two ends by bringing the beginning of my chain over and putting that on my hook as well. So you can see I have both ends of the chain on my hook. And then I'm going to grab my working yarn and I'm going to pull them through both of these loops at the same time, like so. That's called a slip stitch. It's a very strong stitch, but it's also a very short one. We won't use it very often except to tie things together. So I've slip stitched both ends of my bracelet together, and now I chain twice. And I take my scissors and I cut my working yarn, and I pull that string through the last loop. And remember, your last loop should look like a little letter Q. And when I pull on the string, that ties the knot. And there my bracelet is complete. I didn't have to tie anything together. I didn't have to mess with that at all. It's already attached. So that's how I make a very basic bracelet. Now I'll show you another bracelet that you can do. It's very, very simple. So all you need are two colors of yarn. Here's the color I've been working with, and here's a second color. And I'm going to line them up side by side. I'm going to make a slip knot with both of them at the same time. So I'm going to treat them like they're one string. So there's my slip knot. And now I'm going to chain using both of these strings at the same time. I just reach out, grab them both, draw them through. Grab them both, draw them through. And keep doing that until you have a chain that's long enough to go around your hand and wrist. And then just like with the other bracelet, I'm going to bring the beginning of my chain over. I'm going to put it on my hook. And then I'm going to make a slip stitch. And I'll chain twice. Cut the working yarn. Pull it through. And then pull on it to finish it off. Remember, if you cut your tail short, don't cut it any closer than about a finger's width away from the knot. And that's how you make a multicolored bracelet with the chain. And then the last method I'm going to show you is how to make a beaded bracelet. To make a beaded bracelet, you're going to obviously need some beads, and some simple plastic pony beads are great for this project. They have a nice large opening. They're real easy to get on the yarn. And what you need to do to begin with is take your yarn and just tie a little knot on the end of your yarn. This knot isn't going to be part of the finished project, but it makes it easier to put the beads on. So I've got a little knot right there. I'm going to cut up right next to it. And that gives me a nice solid edge to push through the beads. Now I'm just going to pick out the colors I want and put them on my string. I'm just going to kind of do a random color assortment. I'm not very picky. I'll just pick whatever color speaks to me at the moment. And I'll thread all of those onto my bracelet. And it's very important that you get all of the colors and all the beads that you want to use on the string before you start. When we do bigger, fancier crochet projects, there are ways to add beads after the fact. But with a chain, you really got to have them on there before you even get started. There I have a nice variety of beads on my string, and now I can make my slip knot. I put that on my hook, and I start making my chain. And to add the beads to my crochet, all I have to do is whenever I want to add a bead, come over here and I slide the next bead up, and then I reach out with my hook and I grab the working yarn on the other side of the bead and chain with it, and that ties the bead in place. Whenever I want to add another bead, just slide the next one up. And keep doing that until your bracelet is long enough. Now if you end up with a couple of extra beads that you don't have room to use, that's okay. Just slide those out of the way. And then we'll finish off the same way we finished off the other two bracelets. Put both ends of the chain on our hook, slip stitch to tie them together, chain twice, cut the working yarn, pull it through, pull it tight, and there I have a beaded bracelet. I'm going to cut these tails a little shorter so they're not in my way. And that's how you make a beaded bracelet. So there you go. 3 different bracelets you can make using a chain and a slip stitch. Hope you have fun with that, and let me know what you think.